I would request the Honorable Mr. Justice Fakir Muhammad Ibrahim Khalifullah to deliver the valedictory address. I must specially make a mention, but for his assistance, help, cooperation and coordination, this function would not have been at all. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Tamilmani. In the name of Almighty God, the most beneficent and merciful, let me make this valedictory address. My beloved and my most grateful to my Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Dattu. Really grateful. I thank him. My dear brother Justice Nagappan, Justice Sister Justice Banamadi, my Chief Justice, Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, my brother and sister judges, Justice V. Ramaswamy, he has left, Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, former judges of the Supreme Court, Justice P.R. Gokulakrishnan, Justice A.S. Venkatachalamurthy, former Chief Justices from this court, other honorable judges of this court, former judges of this court, judicial officers, Mr. Tamilmani, President of MBA, Secretary Mr. Kamalanathan, other office bearers, Advocate General Mr. Somayaji, Additional Solicitor General Mr. Rajagopalan, Senior Advocates Shri K. Parasharan, Shri R. Krishnamurthy, Mr. Habibullah Basha. With all his handicap, he is here. I am very happy to see him. Yes. Mr. N.R. Chandran, former Advocate General and Additional Solicitor General. I want to specifically mention these names so that the younger generation who are here should know that the great values of this profession. Senior and junior members of the bar, Mr. Paul Kanagaraj, President of the Maha Association, Mr. Ms. Nalini, President of Women Lawyers Association, Mr. Krishna Kumar, President of Advocates Association, Mr. Prabhakaran, Co-Chairman of Bar Council of India, Mr. Selvam, Chairman of Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, members of the registry, press and media, ladies and gentlemen. See, I am really pleased to participate in this valedictory function of 150th year. I had the fortune to inaugurate this 150th year function of MBA along with Justice Nagappan and Sister Justice Banamati. Being a senior judge has got advantages and disadvantages or more. See, I am now asked to speak just before our chief could speak. And whatever I was just noting, I find that everything was spoken to by Chief Justice, Justice Nagappan, Justice Bhanumati, and mine is going to be a repetition. I wanted to mention Mahatma Gandhi. Justice Bhanumati mentioned that. I wanted to mention about great stalwarts of this Bar Association, the English barristers. Justice Nagappan covered that. Justice Bhanumati also. I was just wondering what to speak, but yet for having taken the pains to note down, let me spend some 10-15 minutes with you, please. Please bear with me. The pre and post independent era, we had great stalwarts. Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. Ambedkar, and from our this part of the country, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, Dr. Rajaji. We can go on, add names of that great stalwarts. Dr. Jayakar, former member of the Privy Council. All these great stalwarts, almost all of them were lawyers who built the basic structure of this great nation, the Constitution, and every act in this country has to necessarily be in tune with that great document. It was built, and I must say the bar members of this part of the country played a very great role in that. If you read the Constitution Assembly proceedings between 1946 and 1950, so many volumes, if you read that, you will find at every stage Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, Dr. Rajaji, where they played the key role and all their supporters. And after the Constitution was dedicated to this nation in the year 1950, when the first amendment took place and there were some difficulties, again the great Mr. V.K.T. Chari, he made the suggestion, create 9th schedule, put it in that. Now there are 200 acts in that, so that nobody can challenge that. Great brains, and most of them were members of our legal fraternity of this part of the country. We should feel proud, please. Right. These are the lawyers community. Judges, Mr. Patanjali Sastri. Just take the great stalwarts who adorned the bench. Patanjali Sastri, Justice Patanjali Sastri, Justice Subbarao, Justice P.V. Rajamannar, Justice Veeraswamy, Justice Ramchandra Iyer, Justice Ismail. In the court of Justice Veeraswamy, in the year 75, when I entered the bar, our legs used to feel shaky when even to enter the court hall of those honorable judges. And Justice Ismail, before Justice Ismail, I had very trembling, nervous moments. Please realize, I am saying all the Justice before Justice V. Ratnam, I had a very tough time. He used to bang at us. You don't know law, he used to say. And that, yes, that kind of shots, I must say, that molded us, that gave us more courage. And the next time when we went before them, we wanted to ensure that even before he could think, we will place the material before him. I had occasion to appear before Justice Ratnam twice. First time I had the bang, next time I could return it back to his lordship with the authorities. great judges, from other parts of the country, Justice Hidayatullah, very many great judges adorn the bench. This is the greatness of this institution. We are part of it. We should feel proud that we are part of this institution. As a second generation lawyer, now turned judge, I can boast myself to have gained the advantage of having lived the best part of my life for the cause of justice. I am very happy. From my 4th year, when my father was a district munsif, I had to support him. At the age of 4, one day my mother called me, a small boy doing my first, and my father put me at the age of 4 in the school, giving one day my mother called me and said, I have sent the food, but I have forgotten to send the necessary gravy. You take this and go. That's one form of support which I did at the age of 4. I went there. I still remember. Court was going on. My sister was with me, a little 1 year elder to me. I went and showed that carrier in the court hall, not knowing as a small boy. And the district municipal court, Thiruvarur, and the lawyers who were there, everybody were stunned to see this kind of a scene. And then a senior lawyer said, Your Honor may initiate contempt. My father told me later. That's how I associated myself with this institution right from the age of 4. And from then onwards, my career started. That's why I'm saying I lived the best part of my life for the cause of justice. And I am in the company of the legal fraternity. I thank Almighty God for having given this golden opportunity to serve the society as a lawyer and also as a judge. See, to be a lawyer and then a judge, that's a process in which you get the opportunity to learn not merely law. You just sit with senior lawyers. Many of the lawyers are here. Young lawyers, you just, when you find time, when you find some leisure hours, sit with them. Just talk to them. I used to, whenever I get an opportunity, I used to speak to Justice Basha, Mr. Basha, Mr. Parasaran, Mr. Krishnamurthy, and I had the opportunity to instruct Mr. G. Ramaswamy, Mr. Chidambaram, so many lawyers. When we discuss with them, not only you not only learn law, you learn worldly affairs. It's a process of learning which you will get only in this profession. In no other profession, medical profession or any other profession, you will not get this opportunity. Because this is a profession which you will handle. You get the opportunity to handle any number of issues of varieties of subjects. Not law is only to support those issues, but the issues are all of, you take anything, medical, you will find medical jurisprudence. Masters, you have the criminal lawyers. We had great Mr. Mohan Kumaramangalam, M.K. Nambiar, Mr. Keshav Iyengar. I have seen Mr. Keshav Iyengar in the court halls, in the 4th court hall, sitting between 10:30 and 4:30 in the evening with a pencil in his hand, always thinking about, say, on his own, in a soliloquy, he used to think about the case throughout the day. I just asked one day, one gentleman, one of his juniors, where is his key? Which item is his key? He said it is at the bottom. But then why he is sitting? Once the matter is in the list, he will come. And he will sit between 10:30 and 4:30. See the dedication, involvement. This is their way of functioning in this profession. Any field they will teach us. Please get the guidance of these senior lawyers. Go by their guidance and advice. We will never fail. This legal fraternity will go in the right path. We learn in this profession not only law but multifarious things. Worldly knowledge you get, provided you go by the guidance of these great stalwarts. Today, in the presence of Honorable Chief Justice of India and other great dignitaries, when I got this opportunity, let me also tell about this association. As Justice Bhanumati put it, it was started in the year 1865 by the English barristers, 6 of them, from Norton onwards up to Mr. Miller. Later, this great mission was carried on by the Indian barristers. Some of them which I got from the MBA, Mr. V.G. Rao, Mr. Ramchandran of Rao and Reddy, Mr. V.K.T. Chari, Mr. V.L. Ethiraj, Mr. Mohan Kumaramangalam, Mr. Govind Swaminathan, and senior lawyers, Mr. M.K. Nambiar, Mr. Parasharan, Mr. K.K. Venugopal, Mr. G. Ramaswamy, they were all former attorney generals, Mr. Parasharan and G. Ramaswamy, Mr. V.P. Raman, and Mr. M.R. Narayanaswamy, my guru in the labor field. So long as he was there, he was ruling the labor law field. Mr. T.R. Ramachandran, Mr. Keshav Engar, Mr. Dolia. I can go on mentioning names of these great stalwarts who subsequently carried this institution and maintained the tradition and its prestige. Great stalwarts like Andhra Kesari, Mr. Prakasam, Dr. Subbarayan, Sir C.R. Pattabhiraman, they were all permanent members of this great association. Great judges, Justice Chandra Reddy, former Chief Justices of India, Justice Sabyasachi Mukherjee, Dr. A.S. Anand, Justice Ahmadi, Justice J.S. Verma, former judges, Justice Venkateswamy, Justice Mohan, Justice V. Ramaswamy, Justice R. Lakshmanan, Justice Raju, Justice Natarajan, they are all associated with this. Any number of personalities, all of them have reached great heights, and some of them continue to be with us even today. I think we should have their support and assistance in every walk of our life in this for this institution. In the present generation, we have great personalities like Sri R. Krishnamurthy, Mr. Mashilamani, Mr. Ravindran, Mr. N.R. Chandran, Mr. Swamyaji, Mr. Basha. They are all rendering great service, even as on date, as a member of this institution of judiciary as well as a member of this Bar Association. This association, as Justice Bhanumati pointed out, from the date of inauguration up to this date, they have done so many events, conducting lectures, service to the students, law students, scholarships, And now today Mr. Tamilmani says that they have arranged for 15,000 people, food, lunch, who will be taking lunch along with us. We all should give them a big hand for the service which they have done. I wish that the MBA continue to render such great service to the cause of justice, encourage junior lawyers who can also shine in the profession like the stalwarts of the yesteryears, and support the institution of judiciary in all respects. As far as certain things where improvement is required, our Chief Justice, Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, has expressed it in a lucid terms, in a very, all the words came from his heart. Please support our Chief Justice. Thank you very much for this.
The Vice Chancellor or the Registrar of the Law University, are they here? Mr. Siddharth, Ms. Rukmani, please come on to the dais. Mr. Siddharth, Ms. Rukmani, please come on to the dais. These two have stood first in a competitive examination conducted by the Bar Association with the help of the Law University. The entire law students in the entire state, thousands of students participated. Siddharth and Ms. Rukmani stand first. The Honorable Chief Justice of India will honor them with the gold medal. Mr. P. Tamilkumaran and Mr. Ramaya bring the gold medal. The Honorable Chief Justice of India, after honoring them, will deliver the presidential address. I must thank once again the Honorable Chief Justice of this country. He has saved our honor. I thank him once again.